So what it comes down to, it comes down to this. Like I said in the last two videos, that we are, when we go to sleep, we actually go into another place and time. That's where I've been all this time. I was basically sleeping, but in sense of reality, when we die, we sleep. But the thing is that while I was in there, I knew I left this world. I knew I went on a journey. If you ever notice, if you ever went to sleep at night sometimes, and you actually slept and it's like, man, that dream felt so real that it seems like I've been somewhere. And when you woke up the next morning, it seemed like you did not get any sleep at all. It's like, I'm so tired. Why am I so tired? But I slept all night. That's your clue that you actually leave. That's the most important thing, because most people think that when you go to sleep at night that the soul rests, but actually in that other sense of reality, it doesn't get tired, it doesn't get sick, it doesn't get any of those type of aspects of this world or the physical world. It has its own laws and rules and regulations. So when you go to sleep, that body dies and that soul leaves and goes to different places. That's why when you go to different places and that you've never been before, you get a deja vu. Say, wow, it seems like I've been here, but I've never been here before. But it seems so real, like I've been here, like I know this place. That's your clue, that's your key, that you can travel back and forth through time in either world. That other world is your transport to other different worlds. So I'm giving you the slowly type of knowledge that will gain you access to that. While I was in there, that was so, God is so good, because he puts me through things and brings me out. And then I notice, why did he put me through things? Why did I have to go through that? And now I know it's like, it's all for reason. It's all the anger, all the depression, all the hurt, and all the resentment, and all the things that I've been struggling through. That's all for purpose. It's all for purpose for you. And I'm so glad that I got the chance to share some of that with you. But I guess you want to know actually what happened to me. Well, I was diagnosed with hydrocephalus, and the reason how I found out I had hydrocephalus is I kept having headaches, and I went to the doctor, and and he did CAT scan, he did a MRI, he did CT scan, and EKG on me. And the next morning the doctor calls me in. He's like, I need to talk to you. And that's when I found out I had hydrocephalus. So the doctor said, while I was in England at the time, he said, we will place a shunt, which is a valve, and they'll put it in, into my base of my skull, and they'll drain the fluid out of my body, which is the fluid that collected in my head, and it was about the size of a grapefruit. So it needed to be done. He was so amazed to see that I was still functioning in life, living that way for a very long time, and very forgetful. But he said, how did you function? How did you stay happy through that? I said, I just smiled a lot, and I laughed a lot, and did a lot of things, and joked around, and just carried myself through all that. It's like amazing. But anyway, the thing is that, I had 4 operations. Each one of those operations, the valve kept failing. On the second operation, I contracted contact, or whatever you want to say it, a staph infection, encephalitis, all kind of other things that the military doctors could not control. They didn't know what to do. They took the valve out and just say, well, we're gonna just see how that lasts, and just kept deteriorating, and on the third operation, they just went on ahead and just put another valve in, and they put another valve in as well on in the frontal lobe. Whew. After the second operation, I slipped into a coma for almost a year. A year, not a week, not a day, not a month, almost a year. A year in pain and anguish, which all my family and friends said, you know what I went through, you know what I've been through, coming over here to see you all this time, driving all back and forth. And I'm saying, let's switch places, and we'll see how hard it is for you to live your life the way you was living it, and go through what I went through. After I found out, when I came through, my whole body went into atrophy, no therapy at all. So I had to struggle. I was in a wheelchair for another 8 months, almost a year, to get back on my feet again, to be able to move again. I couldn't. I had to learn everything all over. Basically, I was born again. I had to learn how to use the restroom. I had to learn how to get up. I had to learn how to eat. I had to learn how to, do just about everything. And it was so difficult. And that's why my heart goes out to a lot of disabled people out there. And I'll stop my car. I will. I'll stop my car and I'll get out and I'll go and help someone that actually needs help. Open the door or go help them put their wheelchair in the car. You know, that's the type of thing when somebody goes into something, they don't realize until actually it happens to them. Actually, to realize, say, look, like, I know what you're going through. I can help you because I know how you feel. But the thing is,